Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Joni Misiak. So like I was mentioning last episode, I had some really cool things happen to me today. So the other thing that really cool happened was I was getting ready in the morning and actually let's back it up a second. Let's rewind, hit the rewind button. So before this morning, all week, I've been dreading this day because I had a dentist appointment this afternoon and I just didn't really feel like going. I was like, I would like to spend my day. My Fridays are usually for me, even though today I'm now recording podcast episodes because I have the house to myself this weekend. So I figured, why not do a few of these episodes for you? Well, I have the house to myself and I have some big projects I'd like to work on. So it's just rearranging my schedule a little bit. Anyways, so I've been kind of dreading it. I was like, oh, do I really want to go out this afternoon and go? It's been so busy this week that I just wanted to stay home and relax. Like I just felt like I was on like go all week and I just wanted my me day to be a chill day and not like all these errands and stuff like that. Because usually that's Fridays or like I either do something around the house for me. Like it really depends on what I'm at, where I'm at. And I've booked this appointment months and months ago. So I didn't realize, and I even put it in October instead of September because I knew September was busy with school. But I was wrong. October got even busier. Anyways, so I was super not looking forward to it. And they actually called me and left me a message to remind me. And then I thought, were they saying about canceling it? And I was like, oh, I re-listened to the message going, oh, no. They were just saying I could come in earlier if I needed to. Anyways. So I'm getting ready in the morning. I'm getting my mat ready for my yoga practice. And then I look at my phone to put some music on. And I'm like, oh, I missed a phone call. And it was my dentist's office saying they had to cancel my appointment today, that something came up. And I was like, oh, yeah, the universe has my back. I just didn't feel like doing it today. Didn't want to go out. And I was just so excited and so happy. And really, I just thought I didn't want to see anybody today. And I was like, oh, I just don't need to, like, I can just be alone. And I was all excited. And then I come downstairs, I load the dishwasher, I clean up the kitchen a little bit, and I make myself some coffee and get my water in me before enjoying my cup of coffee. And I was kind of paying attention outside the window and seeing a truck that I'm like, I think that's for the water meters. And then I saw it in front of our house, and because it was behind our house first and then in front, and then I hear a knock at the door. I'm like, oh, there goes my day of not interacting with anybody. I was like, oh. Anyways, so I answered the door. Turns out our water meter was getting put in today, and they forgot to give us a notice beforehand. But anyways, it doesn't matter. They were just letting me know that it was going to be going off. I was like, oh, I just put the dishwasher on. So they're like, it's okay. It's going to take about an hour. So anyways, I was very chipper and things. And then afterwards, I go into my office. I wasn't really planning on working because it was a me day, except that I was like, ooh, my husband went out of the house to work today and the house was quiet. So I did actually think about doing some podcast episodes. So I was like, yeah. But then after they knocked on the door and told me about the whole water thing and the fact that they were drilling outside our house and I could hear it, I was like, okay, I'm going to pause on that for now. And I was like, okay, I'll just do some other things that I can do without recording anything. And then I was really just contemplating all the things that were happening here, like all the moments. And I was like, okay, it wasn't the fact that I didn't want to see anybody, because I had a really good conversation with the guys. Like it was just really like, I was like, oh, that felt nice to have a conversation with an adult, because I don't see people all the time. I work from home. So I do have, and because I create, I like to protect my energy, being an introvert and things like that. I just kind of like to be home. So then I have energy to put out in different ways. Anyways, I had this moment where I'm like, oh, I just wanted to stay home today and do things, like just feel more relaxed and just peaceful. I didn't want to like have to rush to an appointment. Okay, I wasn't going to rush. I had lots of time, and it's not even that far, but I just didn't want to do those things today. And then I realized like it wasn't me not wanting to be social. It was me wanting to just be home today. And I got that. So I am getting to a point. I'm just laying out the situation of the day. So anyways, I'm in my office and I am pulling a card for this month's, well, because I'm recording this in October on a Friday. Actually, it's October 3rd. Sorry, looking at the calendar, October 4th, Friday. And to get the email newsletter out to my community that I do every month. And I always include a card from the Life Loves You card deck by Louise Hay and Robert Holden. Anyways, I'm getting a card. I'm drawing a card. I do this beautiful thing. I sit down and I really think about my community and ask what they need to hear this month and things. And so I draw a card. I'm not going to share it with you here because that's going in my email, the monthly news. However, another card kind of like on top spoke to me personally. And it said, I trust that life wants the best for me. Pay attention to how your life is unfolding. Now notice how life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. And I went, whoa, this has been my day. It has been my day where I really didn't want to leave the house today. And my appointment got canceled. My husband actually, because he was outside the house, I messaged him and said, hey, like I don't need the car back because we share a car. We just have one in our house. Because we work from home, we really only need one most days. Some days we could benefit from two. But anyways, we have one. And I messaged him and said, like, you don't have to rush back because my appointment's been canceled. He's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did they give you an answer, a reason why? And I was like, well, first off, it doesn't really matter what the reason is. Like they couldn't do it. Anyways, but I was like, I was not mad. Like, I'm like, you don't have to be sorry. I'm so happy right now. Like, I'm just so happy. And it's so true though. Like life is unfolding and it's happening for us. Like life is here to support us if we look for the magical moments within it. And it's just like being like, oh, like that happened for this reason. We can get so grumpy. Like maybe I've been like, oh, but my day just got completely turned around and I could have been all angry. But I was like insanely excited. I was like, yes, like I get to just stay home. I get to just be and just pivot and just, oh, it felt so good. I was so happy. And then because I had these ideas come to me after my yoga practice that I wanted to record them. And then all of a sudden I have the water meter guys outside making lots of noise. And I wasn't even mad. I wasn't even mad that they didn't tell us ahead of time. They were really friendly and really cool and stuff. Because I'm like, oh, I just put the dishwasher on, guys. Like, and then, so they're like, that's okay. We got time. Anyway, but I went with the flow of the day. I could have got mad at any moment that like, oh man, unexpected guests, unexpected like cancellations. And instead I went with the flow. And then this card reminded me to like, I didn't even really take it all in until this card landed in my lap. And then I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is exactly what's happening with my day. I did mention though that to my husband, I'm like, the universe has my back. Like so true. But it's like the card, I trust that life wants the best for me. Life does want the best for you. Now, does that mean it's going to do exactly what you think it's going to do? The answer is no, because we don't always know what's best for us. People might show up in our life or disappear out of our lives for a reason that we might not see right away. And then down the line, we'll look like, oh, if this didn't happen, I might not have had this happen. There's been so many times in my life where something happened and, it was devastating at the time. And then later on, it was like, thank you, universe. Thank you for doing that for me. Like, for instance, I used to be really rigid. So when that thing got canceled today, my dentist appointment, I would have been like, what do I do with my day now? I'd feel lost. and overwhelmed, but I wasn't. I did a little happy dance. Anyways, but I was rigid and I had a very solid routine. So in my 20s, I think I was about 24, 25, just after a breakup. I think it was after a breakup. Yes, it would have been after a breakup. Probably about a year after, give or take. Just so. Maybe not. Anyways, after a breakup, I kept going to a yoga practice. Like I had different classes I'd take at the gym. And I would do I think it was kickboxing, and I definitely discovered yoga in there somewhere. And I had this routine. Like I had it down pat. Like I'd go home, I'd eat, and like cuz I worked really early in the mornings. So I was going to yoga. I think it was every Wednesday. And all of a sudden I got moved. And thankfully, I just did this work where I think it was, did I just watch Yes Man? Can't remember if Yes Man happened yet. Anyways, I'm not telling the story so well, so I apologize for that. It just came to me while I was sharing this. I wasn't even planning on sharing this story. So my yoga class got changed. And I was like, well, what do I do with my Wednesdays now? And then I'm like, oh, I was working at a dance studio that my friend owned at the time. And so I was teaching fitness classes there because she also offered fitness classes. So I didn't teach on those days, obviously. So I'm like, what do I do? And I'm like, oh, they do like swing dancing. That would be fun. So on Wednesday, I went to swing dancing. Now, it was just an instructor and a couple. So a lot of the time I was dancing with this instructor, or I'd partner up with one of the guy in the other partner, like the couple there. And I was like, okay, cool. That was weird and fun, but weird. So then I got home and I'm like, who can I invite next week so I can bring a partner so I'm not like sharing somebody else's partner and or dancing with the instructor all the time. So I was like, what do I do? So I was like going down my list. I'm like, oh, none of these guys, like all my guy friends would possibly come, but they wouldn't pay for it. So I'm like, who do I choose? And I couldn't figure out who to invite or ask anybody. So I just went again the following week. And I was like, yes, there's the couple again, the instructor, but there's a guy there that I can partner up with. And I'm like, yes. So we partner up, we dance, it's a good time. And then I'm leaving and he wants to keep going with the next class. He's trying to talk my friend into being his partner. And then, of course, because she's my friend, she's roping me into it instead. So I stay to do ballroom dancing after. And that was also fun. Possibly a little bit more fun because salsa dancing is a little tricksy sometimes. And I like the ballroom dancing has different styles. So I think we were doing the rumba that week. Anyway, so afterwards, he was trying to ask what I was doing after. I said I was going home to have an apple. Like I already ate supper earlier. It was like probably class started at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. So it was probably 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at that time. I was like, I'm going home to have an apple and then going to bed. Anyways, he was trying to ask me out. Long story short, that is now my husband. So now I know a class changing like yoga might seem like a little itty bitty thing changing your day. But if you knew the person I was back then and how plans change would make me so frustrated and so like lost. And I went with the flow because I finally was getting to know myself. Like it's like, oh, okay. And back then I didn't know about like how the universe can support and all that. It was very fresh for me. And I was still learning and discovering. All it took was me to go, instead of getting mad that yoga moved and it's like, oh, that my week is all over the place now. I just was like, okay, what can I do now instead? And I listened from within, or got a little creative, I guess. I don't know if I listened from within, but I was like, hey, what can I do? And then I didn't give up either. I kept showing up and I met my husband. So sometimes in life, things can happen that don't seem good. But that doesn't mean that there isn't something good coming out of it. It happens all the time here at our house too. Like something will happen and I'll either be able to see it right away and help my kids through it, be like, hey, this happened, but look at here, like this came out of that. Or sometimes it might take me a while to see it. Sometimes the heavier, the harder the struggles and frustrations are, the longer it takes. But if you just take a minute to kind of sit back and kind of see it with a new perspective, you can lean into like knowing that there is some good in it somewhere, or something good will come out of it down the line. Again, there's some like major things in life that might not look so pretty. And, but like, let's go with an ending of a relationship though. The ending of a relationship that really left me really depressed, helped me rediscover who I am. I started my self-love journey after that breakup, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. The best thing. And I literally felt like my world was over. And I know it was a breakup, but to understand this a little bit, I was very much looking for love outside of myself at that moment in my life. Where if I wasn't loved by somebody else, I wasn't lovable. I wasn't worthy enough of my own love. Like I couldn't love myself if somebody else didn't love me. So that left me devastating because I put all that responsibility onto somebody else. So again, it's remembering that life wants the best for you. So through the struggles and the challenges, the job losses, like when I lost my job, I got laid off. I got to really find my own passion because honestly, I quite did not love that job. And I was actually looking for work. And I guess I just was so done with it that the universe is like, fine, you're not doing enough here to find something. I need to help you and give you the boot. So sometimes, it doesn't look good and it doesn't feel good either. But somewhere in there's either a life lesson, a way, like a life taking you a different course, just different things. There's so much, and I'm not going to be able to tell everything because there's so many different incidents, like different scenarios in life that I can't share everyone here. But it's looking for the best because life wants the best for you. Remember, life doesn't happen to you. It's happening for you. If my yoga class never got moved on that Wednesday, I don't know when I would have found my husband. He actually just came back from Australia shortly before that because he was traveling for a couple of months. And the funny thing is, I was really trying my best to be there at that time too for my birthday because I didn't want to spend my birthday with no boyfriend. And I was like, how do I do a working holiday? But because I had so much school debt and I was barely making ends meet with my job there, and I would have had to work and I didn't know how to figure it out financially. But it wouldn't have been something funny if we would have met in Australia. I don't know if I would have actually been as open to him there either. I met him in a place that was very safe to me. Because in that point in my life, I actually started loving myself and realized that I didn't need a man to make me feel whole or complete, that I was whole and complete on my own. And then literally a week later, I met him. So that was pretty cool too. Anyways, remember, life is here to support you. It may not always feel like it. It may have some ups, downs, ziggy-zaggies, all the things. But that's how we learn and grow. And some of them can be insanely painful and hard to overcome. But know that life is wanting the best for you. Thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful for you. And just thank you again for being here. If you feel like somebody would like to hear this or needs to hear this, or you just want to share it, Spread the love. Thank you again and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now. Hello, it's Jody again. I'm just back quickly for a quick announcement. I have decided to do an Ask Me Anything podcast episode. So come join the conversation on loving me, myself, and life. Now, it's not going to be live. However, I am going to gather questions ahead of time and answer them for you. So if you have a question about self-love, personal growth, or just life in general, or maybe even have a personal question for me, this is your chance to deep dive into topics that matter to you. Seek advice or explore challenges that resonate with your personal experiences. So get something really, something right directed to you. I'm not going to share full names or locations or anything. I'm going to keep it all, so no one knows who you are, but you'll know who you are. And over the next month or so starting October 13th till November 30th, I will be gathering questions. Now, if you find this after November 30th, that's okay. Please send me your questions anyways, because if I get too many, I'll have to do this again. Not have to, but I want to. So send me your questions if you're like, oh man, I wish Jody would talk about this, or I wish I could hear about this. Please, please send me your questions because I want to do something for you. So please send me your questions today and let's explore the beauty of loving yourself and living authentically and creating a life you truly desire. So you just can go onto my website, jodymisiak.com, and go under contact and just fill out the form with your question. There'll be a link also with this description of this podcast episode. So please, please send away. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day. Bye for now.